Would you like to learn how to set up the shock cords for dual deployment so that you can take everything apart without untying knots? That's what I'm going to cover in this video.
Welcome to Advanced Construction Videos, where we show you how to tackle rocketry, building techniques, and more. On our website, we sell kits, motors, building supplies, and electronics. So come and learn, shop, build, and fly when you visit us at apogeerockets.com.
Hi, I'm Tim Van Milligan from Apogee Components. Today I have the Mega Mako, which is a dual deployment rocket from Apogee Components. And I'm going to go through the instructions that show how to attach the shock cords to this rocket. Now, what's different about this is that we're going to tie a series of loops onto the shock cord so that we can attach everything together, and then later, if we want, we can deattach everything. For example, take the nose cone off without untying any knots. And that's the trick, because untying knots is kind of difficult, but if we're using loops, we can unattach them quite easily. So that's what I'm going to cover in this video. And we're going to start in the instructions at step 30. But if you don't have to have the Mako, this will work good for almost any dual deployment rocket. Okay, this is step 30 in the instructions on the Mega Mako. And what we're doing now is we're doing the Drogue shock cord. Now the Drogue is always on the back end of the rocket, so it's always going to be attached to the fin can. We do that so that we can use the rocket motor's ejection charge as a backup to our dual deployment system. So if the dual deployment system doesn't fire, say the battery got disconnected, it will still allow the Drogue chute to come out at apogee, slowing the rocket down so it can come down safely. And that's the purpose. It's the backup system. So we always put it back here so that the motor can be the backup ejection charge to whatever's in the upper part. So first of all, we're going to take the shock cord, and this is the 24-foot long section. And we want to tie a 3-inch loop. So I got a ruler here, and you can see that it's approximately 3 inches long. And then this little pigtail right here, we want to put masking tape on it just so that it doesn't snag on anything, and and prevent the knot from coming apart. Now we want to go to the other end of the shock cord. So this is the other end, and now on this end we want a loop that's approximately 9 inches long. So measuring from here to here is approximately 9 inches long. And again, we're going to take that little excess piece and we're going to tape it down so that it doesn't snag on anything. So now we got that loop. So this first one was loop A on the small one. The small one is loop A. This large one is loop C. And then from loop C, going back 4 feet from here. So loop C is right here at the long end, the long loop. And you want to go back 4 feet. So I got my ruler here, and this is a 4-foot long ruler. And I want to go back and then do a loop right in the middle. So we're just basically, it's an overhand loop. So let me untie this and I'll show you how it's tied. So the big loop, one of the things it tells you is just make sure when you tie that it's big enough to slide the nose cone through. 4-inch tube can go through that right there. Okay, so you measure 4 feet back. So anywhere, it doesn't have to be perfect. And we want about a 3-inch long loop here. So this is going to be where we're going to attach our Drogue parachute right there. So now we're going to take loop A, which is the small one on the one end. We're going to take our fin can, and inside of here is the Y bridle. And the purpose of the Y bridle is so that it hangs vertically and not off to one side. And this lessens the chances of any of the fins getting hit, but that's going to be okay. So we want to take this, pass it through here. There's a loop on the inside of this. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm going to pull it through. We're going to pull everything through. So I'm going to just put it between my legs here. And then I want to take the other end. So this is the C loop, which is the large loop. We're going to pull that through, and we're going to do the whole entire shock cord. Pull that all the way through. So now, that knot has to go through there too. Just like that. And it's going to be pulled tight, just like that. Okay, so that end's done. In step 32, we're going to take our heat shield and we're going to cut this slot, and you can use a razor blade or a hobby knife, and it's already cut because this has already been flown. So we're going to take that and then slide it onto the shock cord past loop B. So here's loop B, which is the one in the middle. Here's loop C. So loop C goes through first. Pull that through until we get it past loop B. So here's loop B, and that's going to go through there. Okay, that's good. So then this can slide down to the rest of the shock cord. In fact, I'm going to take this and I'll just spool it up for right now and put it inside the tube. All right. Okay, so if the rocket, in step 33, if the rocket is to be flown as a single deployment parachute, so in other words, you're not going to do dual deployment, just a single parachute, which you can do, attach the larger main parachute to this loop B. So here's the larger parachute. And so you could attach this right to there right now, and then the rest of the rocket will won't have any other parachute on it. So this will carry the rocket down all by itself, which you can do. But if you're doing dual deployment, then what you're going to want to do is to use the smaller parachute. So we got the big one and the small one. So this is our Drogue parachute. So this is actually in step 34 right now. But the process is the same. So you take all your shroud lines, and on the apogee parachutes, they go over the top. So you don't have one that's twisted in the middle, because you have one loop that goes here, one that goes across, and then the other one comes from the side. So you just lay them over your hand like this. Pull it tight. I want to get all the corners together. So I grab the corners here, and then I just kind of go like this back and forth till I get to the apex point right there. I'm going to hold on to that, and then pass that through here, then open up these lines again. Now don't let go of that. Pass this through. Don't let go of that. And then just finally, now you can let go. And that way all my corners are all still nice in one little bunch. So the last part is that this 4-foot setback is sufficient enough to allow you to detach the whole fin can from the upper part of the rocket without having to do anything else. It's long enough to go over the entire nose cone of the rocket, and that's what that means. Okay, in step 34, since I am doing dual deployment, I'm going to take my eBay. This is my eBay, and this is the back end. This is the front end. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to pass the 9-inch loop, which was loop C, through the eye bolt, then go around the outside, and then just pull like that. And then if I wanted to take it off, I just reverse that. So pull it, bring it back around, and then pull it out. So this allows you to detach your parts of your rocket without having to undo any knots. So again, I'll just take it through the eye bolt, come up over the top, and then pull down. Okay, so now this part is done. So I'm going to put this into the tube. As with the Drogue chute, the main shock cord requires 3 loops to be added to it. However, they are sized and positioned differently. The first loop A is created just as before. So loop A was a 3-inch loop. So we want approximately a 3-inch long loop. So again, we're going to want to be about like that. And we're just going to do an overhand knot right here. Tuck that in. And you should have a little pigtail sticking out here on that end. And then pull that tight. Okay, and if I look at that, that's pretty close to 3 inches. And then we're going to take some tape and tie that pigtail down. Loop C should be roughly identical. So on the opposite end of this long shock cord, we're going to make another 3-inch wide loop, just like that, and I've already gone ahead and done that. And then the third loop should be 9 inches long, again, to be able to pass the nose cone through and positioned approximately 3 feet from loop C. So it doesn't matter which end that you grab it from, because both of them are 3 inches. But from one end, I want to put, so if I measure back approximately 3 feet, and this one's a little bit more than 3 feet, but that's okay. We want to put another 9-inch loop right here in the middle. So on the previous side, we had one of the 9-inch loop on one end. This time it's in the middle, or approximately 3 feet away from one end. Past loop A. So this is from the long end. I got a knot here in the middle, so I'm going to take that out of there. This is step 36, past loop A through the eye bolt on the forward end of the E-bay. So here's my E-bay. I'm going to pass it through. And then we want to pull the rest of the shock cord through that. So I'm going to stick the other end through and just keep feeding it all through. So we can pull it tight just like that. Okay. Now, 37. We want our parachutes and our heat shield. Again, we're going to open up the slot with either a razor blade or a hobby knife. So open that up. And we're going to slide loop this down on the free end past the loop here. So here's loop B, which is the long one. Pass that through there until it gets past here like that. All right. 38. Slide the forward body tube cover over the shock cord and onto the E-bay so it's out of the way. So this is my forward end, and I've got some pins here, and this is for the nose cone, shear pins. So these are the large holes for the rivets. So that's going to go on the bottom. So we're going to pass that through like that. Pull all this through. Here's my, I just pulled it out. Pull that through. Push that through there like that. And then the rivets will go into the holes there. And I just pulled everything out here. So let me push this back through. Just like that. All right. Now, in step 39, we're going to take this one right here, loop B, which is our big loop. We want to pass that through the eyelet on the base of the nose cone. Then we're going to take that eyelet and go over the top. And then we're going to pull tight. So now we have two cords coming down. So this one is where we're going to attach the parachute, and this one is attached back here to the rocket. Okay, so now in step 40, we're going to take our parachute and attach it to this free loop right here. So again, we're going to open up the parachute, untangle all the lines. Okay, so now I'm going to grab the apex right here. I want to stretch everything out. And again, I want to get all my corners together. Sure I'm not missing any. Okay, just like that. I got them all the corners together. They're nice and even. Double check that. Okay, so now here's my apex. I'm going to take it to this one right here. Open that up. Don't let go of that. Don't let go. Okay, so now I can let go. And then that's locked in place. And these are all at the corners. So now, you know, the rocket is ready to set up. And I'll take the parachute for right now and hook down my microphone cord. Stick that inside. And stick this inside. All right. And so that completes up to step 40 in the assembly of the Mako. And in step 41, we're going to start painting it. Although at this point you can see I already got it painted. So that's it. And that's how you set up your shot cords for dual deployment in the Mako.